Hello. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. Readings are valid for when you come to them, but in this series, for this week anyway, I'm going to use Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West for the tarot. And there's the website there. I want to say it's schifferbooks.com. Yeah, schifferbooks.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Oracle cards I'm using. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. On the back here, there's a website at the bottom, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 20-sided dice to choose the major arcana. I use a 14-sided dice. It's a 21-sided dice. It's a special dice. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. That does exclude the 0 for the major arcana, but I work with it. And where those dice came from, if I can, hopefully you can see that, mathartfun.com. If I can put my hand behind it, I think you can see it. And there's another one. I think this is where the bigger dice came, the 21-sided. Tom Anders. And there's a website there. I just can't seem to read it. But there's also this on the back. If you're one of those people that likes these things, go ahead and use that if you want to. All right. And I think with that, we're there. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4. astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and now on to your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Well, let's go. Not count. How do you say it? Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Right? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, environmental factors. Okay, so yeah, a lot of Earth cards here. Capricorn's an Earth sign. I'm not really worried. I'm seeing like a lot of good things happening, but I keep feeling like, well, until we get there, let's be sure. You know, when we get there, we get there. But like, let's just see what we got. You've fairly, I say fairly recently. It's subjective. So maybe in the last 2 to 3 years. So I say fairly recently. It depends how you feel about it. You've closed a chapter. It could be within the last 2 to 3 years. Like, when I say close the chapter, you closed the chapter. Like, that's that. We're not doing that anymore. Oh, 15, which is the Devil card. For you, the Devil card is the Capricorn card. That's what denotes Capricorn. So that can be a very positive energy for you. I got the 7 of Pentacles, and I got the Capricorn card. I'm going to call it the Capricorn card because it really feels like this is at your advantage. You closed something down. The end went through. You got the 7 of Pentacles. Like, in that moment, you have been working on changing something. I don't know if this is familiar or not. Like, I'm trying to see. I just did Virgo's reading, and it was about a person that they had decided, like, they weren't going to put up with certain things anymore. I'm not sure this is a person thing for you, though. Something, you closed a chapter. And since then, you've been planning. You've been planning to change things. Since you closed that chapter, like, I no longer deal with that, and that's not coming back in. Because of that, I'm planning other things coming forward down the line. You also have this, the Ace of Pentacles. So you have a really good energy, but it's kind of like, yeah, but I'm planning on my Ace of Pentacles. Like, the 7 of Pentacles leading into the Ace of Pentacles, to me that's saying, like, if we're going to use the tree analogy, because I love to use that for the Ace of Pentacles, I'm going to plant this beautiful elm or beautiful tree that I want. AKA, it could be like maybe you're looking for a house, whatever. I'm deciding where it's going to go. I'm in the process of deciding, where do I want that tree? Where is it going to serve me the best? Where am I going to be able to enjoy it? Where am I going to know it's safe? Where am I going to know this and it's going to get what it needs? That type of thing. Where am I going to know it's safe from other people that I don't want seeing it and they're not going to be able to see it? Stuff like that. You're in the planning phase for where you're going to put your Ace of Pentacles. It's all good. There seems to be this energy of like, I'm ready, coming up really fast. Which, because it's contained within you, it's not bad. Because you have complete and total control over this, I need to make a decision energy. But it seems to be like, I need to make a decision, I'm ready to do this. Ten of Swords is kind of like threatening to come in. So you get the Ten of Swords half in, half out. When it's half in, half out, it means it's both the right side up and the upside down. Meaning coming in at the same time. You got the same thing for the Judgment. And I think that's why we're getting this energy for you, but this is contained within you. You're starting to feel like, all right, I've been planning to plant this Ace of Pentacles. I've been planning to start something. I'm getting to the point where it's time. I'm either going to start it or I'm not. It's going to sit here in limbo for the rest of my life. I feel like I'm getting this pressure, and I'm getting this, like, I feel like this is the time. It's kind of like if you're going to plant something, right? And you're in a place that has seasons. Probably do anyway. Probably do have planting seasons. But anyway, it's kind of like there's a certain part of the spring where it's like ideal. At least where I live. There's a certain part of the spring where it's ideal to plant a certain type of thing. So like it's like maybe there's a window of like 2 to 3 weeks, I'm guessing. Don't quote me, I'm not a gardener. But from what I understand, there's like a window. Most ideal, get the best growth, get the best sun, get the best this, get the best that. Best, most ideal. That window, like you're in that, I feel like you're in that window. And this is something that you're feeling. This is something you're on point with. There's no external pressure. There's just kind of like, oh, the window is here. I can do it after the window passes, but Capricorn is about the value. Capricorn is about getting the most bang for your buck. So it's kind of like, I think that's where the pressure is showing up, kind of like, no, I don't want that window to pass. I need this to happen before that window passes, because if I'm going to do it, I'm getting the most I can out of it. I think that's the pressure. So the pressure to start the Ace of Pentacles is showing up, but it's completely in your control. Nope, I don't feel like anybody externally is pressuring you. It seems to be very self-sufficient. You got the Nine of Pentacles here. You're doing what you want by yourself. You're deciding this all on your own. Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. It's time to move forward. It's a plan that you're ready to do. The World card is coming in all at once. It's time to start the process and trust that this is the thing I want to do. You do have the option to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this and just let it go. But I feel like you've put a lot of emotional effort into this. Like it seems like there's plans here. There's things I want to come from this. If I do this, I'm going to get that. I feel like I'm already invested in it. So I feel like it's time to move forward. It's either now or not. Now or not. I don't know. That's how I'm getting. So anything else you can add to that to make more sense of this? Strength. And then the Ten of Swords. If it's like, I feel like, okay, so I feel like they're saying you can, if you want this to succeed, whatever it is, now is the time. So can you do it later? Yes, with less payout. I keep getting like a planning season. Like if you miss that ideal window, I feel like some of you can do I can do it later, but you're gonna. Or like, well, maybe not this year, maybe next year. Maybe you're going to play that game. I'm getting it's either now or never. So I don't know what's up with that. So there's things going on in life. The moment is here. The opportunity is here. Something might change before next year comes around, and you might have something of higher priority in your way, kind of like, well, I have higher priorities this next year. Like next year you come around and there's higher priorities. There's more important things. Kind of like, I would have liked to have done that, but I can't now because I got these other things that are more important to me right now. So I think that's why. It's not like you physically can't do it, like say the next year. I get that there's going to be higher priority things that are going to be more important, and you're like, I can't do that and keep this. So I just keep getting like, I can't do it. Now I can't do it. So take it with a grain of salt, of course. There are environmental factors around here. People currently are leaving you alone. This seems to be a very advantageous moment for you. Things are in your advantage. It's like how far is that going to go? Ooh, Magician shows up for you. And then the Nine of Swords releasing. So the Nine of Swords is usually stress. When it's releasing, it's like we're getting rid of that stress, or it's releasing. You're working through the stress and you're making it work to your advantage. I feel like Capricorn is one of those. When you're stressed and it's something that you see from all angles, you can be like, all right, this is how I'm going to like work through this, and I'm going to bring down that stress, and I'm going to conquer that stress, and I'm going to remove that stress. Like, that's kind of like how I see you handling this. I think that's why it's like leaving. It's kind of like, I'm going to address it, work through it, conquer it, remove it. It's kind of like we're not even going to have the carcass here. We're going to even get rid of that. So you got this around you. You got the Strength, the Nine of Wands, and the Five of Coins. I get that this is something where people are just like out of your way for the moment. They got other things going on. The Strength and the Nine of Wands especially, like they got things they're dealing with and they don't want you to be a part of, which is an advantage for you at this moment. Because if they're like, I'm doing my own thing, I don't want Capricorn to be a part of it, they're not going to bother you. And then there's the Five of Coins. So like they're keeping you out of something. I don't see this being a bad thing for you, but I feel like this is like, all right, they're staying out of your way. This is your moment to get what you want without issue. It's kind of like if you live with somebody and you want to plant something, but if you start planting something and they're paying attention, they're gonna be like, no, Capricorn, it's got to go over here, or they'll mess with it, or they'll try to help you, or you're like, I don't want your help. If they're busy and they're off doing their own thing and they don't want you to know what they're doing, that opens the whole field. You can just plant your thing. They don't even know you did it. By the time they do figure out what you did, it's already well established and you don't have to worry about that anymore. There's this too. This is not bad, but for some reason, there is support here for you. If you want support, that's cool. If you don't want it, don't go towards it. I don't know. I'm not feeling this is your flavor. It's nice when people are supportive. Yeah, that's good. I'm not saying it's not, but no, see, I got the Judgment reversed right upside down. They're more, I understand that they're supportive. You don't have to, if you can do this on your own, or you can get somebody impartial, that's the word I think I want. Or no, I don't know. Get somebody who's not emotionally connected to this. Whoever this is, there's support here from somebody who very much cares about you, and that's a great thing, but I don't feel like this is the time to call on that help. Either do it by yourself or call on somebody who's impartial or something like that. Somebody who, like, some days they like you, some days they don't. If you follow me on that, I feel like Capricorn. I feel like you know what I mean. Like, there's certain people that are like, some days they like you and some days they don't, and it's fine. You just see them for who they are. Those people, they would be more helpful for this to go where you want it to go. People who really love you, there's somebody here who really does care about you, and they're great, and that's wonderful. I'm not saying anything bad about that. But when it comes to making this work, it's not your flavor, and it's going to cause confusion. It's good. They're a good person. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. But do it on your own, or get somebody impartial is what I keep getting. There's going to have to be some negotiation going forward. I feel like it's one of those things where I don't want to negotiate, but in the same token, on the opposite side of the coin, whatever you want to call it, in the same breath, to get the complete success you're looking for, there will have to be some negotiation going forward. I feel like you get a time to like think about it and work it out. Talk about it when you hit to this point of negotiation. Whatever this is, this planning of this Ace of Pentacles, there seems to be something here where it doesn't work out exactly how I thought it would. Something just doesn't sit like I thought it would, and I'm having some issue, and I'm like, I need some information. Don't keep it to yourself at that point. That's going to lead to ruin, because that Ten of Swords is still showing up a little bit here and there. If you keep it to yourself, I feel like you're going to have a lot of problems that you're not going to know about. You may be able to research it and find some information, but this might be one of those things that's a little bit more complicated. You might need somebody who knows a little bit more about the situation. so they can give you more information, more of a heads up about, oh, I was looking at your tree here, and by the way, you're planting this tree next to this. I only learned this like a couple years ago. What is it called? You're planting it next to I think it's called a black walnut tree, which are beautiful, but I feel like they also they kill other trees around them to make room for more black walnut trees. So it's like somebody saying, okay, you planted your tree, and I see that, yeah, it's nice, but you got these 3 black walnut trees here. They're gonna kill it. They're gonna kill your tree. That's how they work. They kill out the competition so they can have more of their trees show up. Something like that, because I feel like if you talk about it with the appropriate people, I'm not saying you have to like blast it across town, but talk about it with the appropriate people. When you hit that snag, when you hit that part where you're like, uh-oh, I don't know, something doesn't seem right here, something's not working, like the tree seems to be wilting a little bit, like what's going on here? Talk to the appropriate people at that point, not before that point. Not before that point. Because you're already along in the process. At that point, because I feel like you'll get connected to the right people, and they'll be like, all right, this is what you can do to make this work where you want it. This is how, like, okay, are you partial to these black walnuts? Can we get rid of these black walnut trees? Or maybe there's something else that can go on. Or maybe, like, that your tree hasn't, like, grabbed ground all that much. Maybe we could move it a little bit over here. Is this an acceptable spot since it hasn't grabbed enough ground to really... Maybe we could still move it at this point. Something. They'll give you options so you can, like, we either have to get rid of that or we have to move this, and they'll tell you what you can do. I mean, there's a lot of good energy around you. People seem to really believe in what's going on here, too. Yeah, keep up with that energy. Once that happens, once you hit that, it's a snag. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying it, but once you hit that snag, you want to talk to the appropriate people. Keep talking. Keep that information going. The more information you keep out there, the more bounty, the more help you're going to get, the more appropriate help, but not until you hit that snag. It's something about hitting that snag, and then other people who have hit that snag seem to come towards you, and it's kind of like, almost like, I want to call it a brotherhood. I don't know why. It doesn't have to be a brotherhood. It could be a sisterhood. It could be I don't think it has anything to do with gender, quite frankly. But it's kind of like a camaraderie. It's kind of like a group or like a club. It's like you're in the club. Like, oh, Capricorn is going through what we went through. Capricorn's in the club. Let's tell Capricorn how we got past it. Let's tell Capricorn how we do it. And then it's like you're in the club. Does that make sense? It's like you're in the club. And a lot more opportunity comes in. It's going to take some work, but that's what you do. Capricorn's a worker. That's where you're going to get more support. It's all these cards. These are interesting. I feel like you're going to find somebody who's very much the way you are. So you got the Two of Cups. You do have the Devil, but remember, the Devil card does talk about Capricorn energy. So I get that in the environment, somebody very much believes the way you believe. Somebody handles it the way you handle it. And you're going to be very accepted into this situation. Again, not until you hit that snag. I feel like you have to hit that snag first. And it's almost like, oh, Capricorn had that problem we have. Capricorn's in the club. Let's help Capricorn, and Capricorn can be a part of the club. Like, you're in the club. I don't know. I keep saying this club thing. It's like you're a part of the club. Like, oh, you understand what it's like, Capricorn. You're in our club. Like, we'll help you, and we help each other, and we keep a lookout for each other. And if you learn more things, you tell us. And if we learn more things, we tell you. That's how we all go about this, so we can keep making this work out. So I think what this is overall saying is it's time to plant that Ace of Pentacles. It's time to get it going. When you keep going, assuming that happens, there will be a point that there's a snag. You want to keep this personal and to yourself as much as possible until you hit the snag. When you hit the snag, talk to the appropriate people and just keep talking. They're going to pull you into it. Feels like a club. It may not be like a literal, like you have a membership card club, but it's going to feel like you're in like this club, like this group of people. And the more you tell them, the more they're going to tell you. It's going to be, you're going to be like a viable part of this club, like an important part of it. Like, you're going to learn things as you keep going forward. Like, oh, I heard, or I was reading this magazine, or I was researching this, or I was talking to this person, or I was down at the store talking to this person, and I found this out. Did you hear anything about this? And together in this club, you'll work towards a better a better, more prosperous situation. It doesn't seem like there's a goal for this, by the way. I'm also noticing that. This feels like something like the tree thing, like you're planting it so it grows, but then you're going to keep it and enjoy it year after year after year after year after year. It doesn't seem like it has an end point. It's just kind of like bringing it up to its full fruition and then enjoying it for what it is what I feel like what we want. I think we're there. Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.